My name is Robert Hotchkiss Thomson. I'm a painter and I make music. This work is coming from the theme of the show, which was nature. Very open idea, but it ended up being really close to my thought because I started back in the fall thinking about it, up through winter and spring until right now, which is early summer. The aspect of nature, there's animals and maybe some plants and stuff, but the aspect that really has been defining for these paintings is light and the different qualities of light that exist. It almost makes a different kind of space of possibility where different things can happen. And just like the seasons, like actually everything is always present. You just don't see it, and it's like kind of shifting what is visible, and it's not just visible, but it's like actually there. It's a very strange thing, but in these paintings, I'm taking the nature to heart and trying to bring a kind of different light into the paintings. And they're really not done until I find out what kind of light it is, I think. Because finding out what kind of light it is makes what is possible, makes what is there. So it's also like finding out the kind of light is finding out what it's about. I don't mean to sidestep the question. I love all those things and they're very important to me. I really had to sort of address how much kind of dim routine misery is also sort of like the backdrop of these paintings and of the things that do inspire me and give me a kind of energy. It's kind of important to acknowledge the dark and the doomed and the hateful and the mean because it's really something I traffic in every day along with the rest of the world, I think. People on the internet, for instance, it's pretty much a unified misery. And I totally understand it and have to struggle with it. And so I'm inspired by that because it's like how to overcome. The question is like how to live, always, how to live together. So I have to start with that. That's the reality. My way out of that, I think, is trying to do something. And when you try to do something, like paint, for instance, it's a very quaint project, but nonetheless, it's like, well, you gotta start moving. When you start moving, you find out how small you are in a different way than we usually feel, I think, as like technological subjects. As technological subjects, I think we feel, okay, we can click and we have our amusement. We don't know how to affect any change. Most people don't. If you don't have any money or any political power, which most people don't, you don't know what to do. You see all these problems, you don't know what to do. But at the same time, as I mentioned before, we have like the ability to participate with these technologies. For instance, like you press the gas and you can like go faster than any creature on earth has ever gone, for instance. And yet we're totally impotent. And so painting in its old-fashioned quaintness for me is like a way to find out, one, how painfully powerless I really am, work through that, and like I have clips of it, but it's just like brushing. It's like really silly looking. But at the same time, I'm like fumbling towards what I actually think. The very low consciousness of doom scrolling, which I think everybody knows, it's very low consciousness. That's the intention. Painting is the opposite. And any kind of creativity, I feel, is the opposite. In the past, as I just indicated, I really was very desperate to sort of prove, demonstrate, convince people, activate some kind of emergency button in reality that would undo all the horrors that we live and participate in and humans routinely do to each other, every form of domination. I thought somehow a painting could do that. As such, I think the paintings were were a little aggressive, trying to come at people and just like grab them by the throat. The message I had was always too complicated to even be that because I wasn't actually provocative in the way many artists are, you know. failing on both accounts. They failed to provoke with a kind of clarity, and they also were too desperate to be relaxing in a space somebody wanted to be in. So now I'm just sort of trying to like give people space, give myself space, and I have all the same concerns, and yet I'm kind of okay with the silence much more than I was. Well, just continuing to make a relaxed thing. I mean, I don't really want to just abandon thought, but at the same time, how to allow a kind of different possibilities and let something breathe and let people breathe with the work instead of just like having to throw everything out every time, which I have done in the past. I did this and now I'm just like gonna throw myself and get lost again. I think I'm trying to be more disciplined in reiterating and like just going through something again without having it to be like something brand new to myself. It probably will be like in some ways, but more disciplined, I guess. I just want to be remembered as an artist who gave space to people to experience their own lives and their own creativity. Every artist, every artwork that has ever inspired me and made me love the world has done that. I would love to participate in that tradition.